Good night, good night, everyone. Welcome to day 5 of the Agribusiness Incubator program. We are having our fifth day of the ideation training, and I want to welcome you all to this session. My name is Silverio Marin, and I am the incubator coordinator for the FAO in Belize, and I'll be your host for tonight. Along with me tonight, we have Ms. Precious Fortune and Ms. Kantisha Ward, who are going to be presenting the content of marketing and also answering all your questions all the way through to the end of tonight's session. A brief reminder that this capacity building activity is being held under the project Technical Assistance for Inclusive, Sustainable, and Resilient Food Systems in the rural and peri-urban areas of the Cairo district as a response to the COVID-19. The project is part of the Technical Cooperation Program between the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise and the Ministry of Agriculture from the Bahamas. Remember that this ideation training will offer support for all of you, our entrepreneurs, to transform your ideas into actual business proposals. And at the end, you're going to have a fully developed business model that you're going to be using then to move on to the second phase of the training. Tonight, we have with us Miss Precious Fortune, who will continue delivering her session. Remember that she is going to be talking about marketing tonight, and it is a continuation of the topic that we saw last week. So, Precious, are you here? Then over to you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm so excited. Welcome to another week of training. And last week, we would have looked at marketing research, marketing competition, sales strategy, knowing your customer, understanding your customer, and customer service. And I know last week we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but of course, the videos were posted in Telegram and the content is also in the Google Classroom. And so before I begin tonight, I will remind everyone to go ahead onto the Google Classroom because that is where you're going to find content, not only for marketing, but for the entire training that's going to help you throughout the phases in this training process, in this incubator program. All right, so let's dive in. Let's begin. I'm looking forward to an engaging night, and I want you guys to participate in the chats. If you have any questions, feel free to post your questions there, and we will answer you. All right, so let's get started. All right, let me share. I think it's me that every time I come on to speak, I'm always having technical difficulty. Oh, it's up. All right. So the icebreaker we're going to start with is, as a child, what did you want to be when you grew up? And it's crazy because, the older you get, sometimes your interests, your hobbies, your industry, your sectors, it all changes. And so I want you to post your comments in the chat. So for me, as a child, I always wanted to be a teacher. I loved kids. I loved working with kids. And so I was like, you know what? I want mark papers with my red ink pen, and I want to write A, B, C, D, or you get an F. And so that's what I wanted to be at the time. I wanted to be a teacher. And then by the time I reached high school, I was like, I want to be an economist. And then look at me now. So I want to know what you guys wanted to be when you grew up. And it may be that you're in the profession or the career path, or you're doing what you wanted to be, or it may have changed as you got older. So post your comments in the chat. Let me see. So I see Pollyanna is saying that she wanted to be a lab technician, Elio, a doctor, and a teacher. Yay, and teacher. So that's exciting. All right. Anyone else? Oh, a veterinarian, a police. Otto wanted to be a police. Was it because you wanted to lock people up? Or I don't know. Alicia wanted to be an engineer. Reynard wanted to be a ninja. Wow, you could teach me a thing or two. Okay. So I see quite a few people wanted to be a teacher. I see Elmer wanted to be an entrepreneur. Very nice. So I love the diversity in the answers. It shows that, we've all come a mighty long way, and that's a good thing. All right. So, in keeping with the time, let's dive right in because I don't want everyone to be here all night. So, what we're going to look at tonight is marketing strategy and planning, marketing for agro business, the marketing mix, and 7P formulas, marketing, digital marketing, and product development, packaging, and prototyping. All right. So, market strategy. Last week we would have talked about sales strategy, knowing your customers, getting your customers, finding your niche market. But now we're going to look at market strategy, which is the process where limited resources are used to boost sales and gain a long-term competitive advantage. So when looking at a marketing strategy, these are the different components. You got to be planning, management, offline integration, traffic building, social media, optimization process, conversion analysis, and website design. So for me, I always like to say marketing is one of the most important things for a business. It will not only build your brand awareness, but it is very effective in helping you boost your sales. So when you're talking about a good marketing strategy, this is like, how are you going to get your consumers your information as it relates to your product or your business? So the marketing strategy that you employ has to be focused on achieving success, not only now, but also in the future. So what that means is, for those of you, when you're putting together your marketing strategy, you want to be so in depth and thorough that you don't want something that every week you have to keep reinventing the wheel. You want to be able to put a strategy and plan that you're going to be able to use for the next 3 or 6 months. And then as the industry changes or the economy changes, you want to then update it. So in order to market effectively to any given audience, it is important to become familiar with the habits, behaviors, likes, and dislikes of your target market. And your target market is what we would have looked at last week. So these may be the adults, the teens, the children, the preschoolers, the men or women. So based on who your target market is, that is how you're going to develop your marketing strategy. So marketing strategy for someone that is a young millennial like myself will definitely be different from someone that is in their 70s or 80s. The strategy definitely won't be the same. So what we're going to do now is we're going to watch a quick video on marketing strategy.
Develop your marketing strategy. The ultimate goal of any marketing strategy is to help you grow your business by capturing the maximum mind share at lower cost. The anatomy of a great marketing strategy will include the following: a clear definition of your competitive advantage on how you fare against your competition and constructing your unique selling position or USP. You need to create an FAB analysis, which are your product's features, advantages, and benefits. Then you need to define your target market, which includes both demographic and psychographic profiling of your ideal customers, their hot buttons on why they need to buy from you. This will lead to how you want to position your products and services and several means of attracting customers to your offerings. You need to prepare your marketing collateral, both printed and digital materials and contents aiming at attracting your ideal customers with the most effective, persuasive messages. Next, you need to know the medium of your marketing. Identify from different marketing methods to reach out to your potential prospects like advertising, digital marketing, direct marketing, public relations, etc. Depending on your target audience, you will need to pick the best marketing methods to explain, teach, and promote how your product or service stands out above other competitors. Strategically, you must know your customer's acquisition cost and customer lifetime value, and based on that, you can also budget your marketing spending. Your marketing plan. The written description of your market strategy should also stress on the following points. Detail specific activities you intend to undertake. Identify the targeted audience for each market reach activity. Specify how you're going to measure success. Be flexible enough to allow adjustments as necessary. Stipulate who on your team is responsible for each activity. In order for a marketing strategy to be successful, it must be multifaceted, realistic, and implemented consistently over time. Revisit your marketing plan at least once every quarter. Track your progress and evolve your tactics. Make sure you have defined metrics for measuring success and have assigned individual team members to be accountable for solving each issue. Set up regular meetings to review progress, identify and solve issues, and align activities across teams. Learn from your mistakes and victories and evolve your tactics as needed to maintain your traction. If you have any additional suggestions or tools, please feel free to share in comments or write to us. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe.
Sorry, guys, I did not realize you were not hearing me. So that was a nice, quick video on marketing strategy. And so some of the key points that, that I want to reiterate, the first thing would have been is you must revisit your marketing strategy once every quarter. And so that goes back to my point in saying that when you develop or design your marketing strategy, it should be done well enough that you're not trying to reinvent it every week, but you're going to revisit it, say, every 3 months or 6 months from now. Because another important thing is you're trying to make sure that you're solving the issues so that you're being effective in getting your product to the consumer, and so that you're able to boost sales. Another thing is to learn from your mistakes. And so when you first do your marketing strategy, I expect that most persons have to go back to the drawing board and tweak it automatically. And that's because, when you're first starting a business, you're not sure how the market is going to respond to your strategy. So then you may have to go back to the drawing board and develop it based on the critiques, and make sure that you're solving issues and learning from your mistakes. So if that didn't work, then this is what you realize based on your research, what is going to work. Okay. So we have another video on enhancing the profits of your agro business. So due to time constraints, this video is the next 2 videos will be posted in the Telegram chat, and also it's already on the Google Classrooms Drive. And this is some really great content as it deals with agro business marketing. So now what we're going to look at is the marketing mix. What is the marketing mix, you may say? And the marketing mix and the 7P formula. I like P because my name begins with Precious, so I like anything that begins with P. So the marketing mix refers to the set of actions or tactics that a company uses to promote its brand or its product. So when you look at the 7 P's of marketing, what is the right process? Who are the right people? What is the physical evidence? Where is the best place for this product? What is the best price? What is the product? And how are you going to promote it? And so that's basically, in the nutshell, the 7 P's of marketing. So let's look at a quick video that's going to explain the marketing mix. And these are some great questions to ask as you lay out your marketing plan. So once you put these out, you then say, okay, if my product is corn, what is the best process for my corn to process it? Who are the best people to buy my corn? What evidence, what does research say about the corn? Where is the best place to sell the corn? Is it at a farmer's market? Is it in the food store? What is the best price to sell my corn at? $3, $7? Maybe there's competition in the market. And so what is this the best product? Is corn in the kernel by itself the best product, or should it be popcorn? And now, how am I going to promote my corn? Am I going to use social media, or am I going to use word of mouth? And so these questions, once you begin developing your plan, you then ask these questions, and that helps you with your marketing strategy. So let's look at this video very quick.
Hi, this is Simon from Ace Tech Training. Today we're going to be talking about the marketing mix. So what is the marketing mix? The marketing mix is a model based on a commonly accepted definition of marketing by Adcock, Hallberg and Ross, which says that marketing is all about having the right product in the right place at the right price and at the right time. The original model had 4 key elements: product, price, place and promotion. This then evolved into a larger model, which is called the extended marketing mix. This has 7 key elements. It has the original product, price, place, and promotion, but also has new elements of people, process, and physical evidence. So let's look at each of these in turn. First of all, we have product. This is the product or service that you provide. And this is all about what makes your product or service what it is. It's about design, technology, usefulness, convenience, value, quality, things such as packaging, branding, and accessories and warranties. We then have price. There are various different approaches that you can take to pricing your product or service. You have cost plus pricing. This is where you take the total costs of producing and getting your product or service to your customer and add a percentage markup. You have consumer-led pricing, which is about researching your target customer base and providing them with a product or service that you would consider they would find a fair price. You have competitive pricing, which is about supplying your product or service at a price that is competitive with other businesses that are supplying the same product or service to your target market. You have penetration pricing, which is when you're looking to obtain market share in a target marketplace and you enter with a low price, and then once you've obtained that market share, you rise your prices. Then we have skimming. This is almost the opposite of penetration pricing. This is where you have a price that's very high initially for your product or service, and then this reduces over time. It's commonly used by technology companies who have high initial investment in production costs, but then over time, as there's greater uptake on their product, this reduces with the product life cycle. We have premium pricing, which is obviously high pricing to reflect a luxury good or brand. And then we have economy pricing, such as cheap flights. Next, we have the place. in terms of element in the marketing mix. This is how your product or service is found and is able to be purchased by your target customer base. So you may have your product available through wholesalers. You may have your product available through your own store. You may have direct sales as a channel through which you sell your product. You may have online sales, things such as party plans, or make use of mail order. The next element looks at promotion. This is all about how the customer finds out about your product. It's about advertising. It's about public relations. It's about sponsorship, things like sales promotion, personal selling, direct mail, digital content, and social media. Then we have people. These are the people who are involved in selling and supporting your product or service to the customer. It's about advice and sales support. It's about customer service. It's about after-sales backup. We then have process. This is all about looking at how everything fits together, how your product or service actually gets to the customer, and how successful those processes are managed. This is where you can look at quality assurance and quality management. Then we have physical evidence. This is all about the evidence that proves that your marketing is successful and that your product and service is definitely out there and doing what it should. This is about packaging, paperwork, things like invoices, tickets, dispatch notes. It's about vehicle signage, your presence on the internet, such as web pages, furnishings, brochures, uniforms, buildings, such as your offices or headquarters, and things such as awards that reflect the success of your product, service, and brand. Okay, so there we have it, an overview of the extended marketing mix. But how's this actually used in the real world? Well, let's look at a major global brand. McDonald's, well known everywhere. Here we have how the marketing mix looks for McDonald's. They have their products, obviously the core foremost one among them being the hamburger, but they don't just do a hamburger, they do a range of options with their hamburger. They do chicken burgers, and as markets evolve, where we've got things such as consumers now who are looking for more responsibly sourced meat, more ethically packaged goods, and more healthier options, McDonald's have also adapted their products to match. Pricing. McDonald's, obviously, with their range of products that they have different prices. They also work internationally, so they work with multiple currencies, and they will have different pricing for the different countries that they deal with. And they will work to probably a range of different pricing models. Placement. You can obviously find McDonald's burgers in their McDonald's restaurants, so they have a clear place you can buy their product or service. You can also look at information on them on the internet. In terms of promotion, McDonald's have a range of different means with which they communicate about their product and service to their potential customer, and they gear them to different target markets. We have the standardized promotion, so things like their McDonald's arches, we have the logos on their clothes, clearly evidenced in the different restaurants that they have. You can see them on the internet and find information about the company there. You've got special promotions, things like Happy Meals and the free giveaways that they give with the Happy Meals for children, different toys that change every so often. We have different promotions in terms of the meals that they provide. So you might have a special option one week and then a different option the next week. They also advertise free Wi-Fi within their restaurants for business customers or customers who would like to access the internet while they're there. So they have a balance of different promotions to suit the needs of their different target markets. Okay, so the next element that we look at is people. McDonald's have lots of different people involved in the organization who are helping to get their product or service to market. These include management, administration staff, and frontline customer service and sales staff. The next element is process, and McDonald's are a market leader at process engineering. They make sure that they have processes for producing their product, the hamburger. They make sure that they have processes that make it easy for the customer to get access to the food in the way they want. They are a fast food industry, and with having things such as the fast drive-through section, that helps their customer get food quickly. They also have ways of making payments faster as well for the customer, such as contactless, which they have introduced at most of their branches. So overall, they are extremely focused on efficient processes. So the next thing that we've got is physical evidence, and it's clear that McDonald's are extremely successful in terms of getting their products and service to market. We can clearly see that through the restaurants that they have, through the people that serve in those restaurants with the clear branding on their clothes. We can see that they've been successful by the fact that their organization is global, by the fact it's used in business case studies, and also by the fact that there is actually a Big Mac index by which the cost of living in different countries is judged by the cost of a Big Mac in those countries. So there we have it. That looks at the application of the 7 Ps as to how they're used in the real world with a global market leader. So what are the key applications? Well, the key applications in terms of the 7 Ps are generally for strategic planning. So this is where you're looking at introducing a new product or service, or maybe you're a business that's looking to get into a new marketplace. You use it so that you can analyze what product or service is needed, how you fit into that marketplace, what sort of place should you be promoting your product or service in, how should you be getting it to the customer. If you look at all of the individual elements of the marketing mix, this helps define your strategy in a much more successful way. You also have a use in gap analysis. So say you're an existing company and you have a product or service that isn't performing as you'd like within the marketplace. This is where you can look at each element of the marketing mix and see if there is an area where you have gaps or where things are failing, and it helps you to correct this. Okay, so there we have it, the extended marketing mix as an overview. And why do we want to have the marketing mix? So that we can make sure that we have the right product in the right place, at the right price, at the right time.
At the right time.
There you have it, the marketing mix.
So that video, I am guaranteed, will help all of you in terms of putting together your marketing strategy, and also as it asks more questions related to your business, your product, your idea. That is an awesome framework guide. And so I encourage you guys in your own spare time to go back to it, to use it to help you, because it gives you a great breakdown, and it also gives you an example so that you're able to put yours together. All right, so let's move on. So now we're going to look at a marketing canvas, which is also an amazing tool. So marketing canvas is a co-creation method to discover, access, and reinforce your marketing strategy, which is at the intersection of the environment where you will play, your goals, which you would like to achieve, and your actions, what you will do. So here's how a marketing campaign model canvas looks like. And so this sheet is actually located in the Google's Classroom Drive. So you're able to download it and fill it out. So you're able to address your problem, your key activities, your key metrics, your value propositions, your content promotion, your channels, your prospective persons, your projected return on investment and cost structure. So it's fairly similar to a Model C canvas. All right. So now we're going to move on to product development, packaging, and prototyping. So the first thing is, how did you come up with a product? In order for you to come up with a product, it would have to be an idea. You know, that's how you get to your product or your business venture. So once you have an idea, now you need to define your idea. From there, you have to test it, then design it, brand it, protect it. So protecting is making sure you do all the necessary things to legal work, paperwork, if there's licensing required. Then you have to make it, launch it, then sell it. So now let's watch a quick video on product development and the different types of products out there.
Product marketers, Mark here, and today we're here on Turks and Caicos, beautiful set of islands here on the Atlantic. It's just gorgeous here, and it really makes me think is, what are some new products I could sell so I could live here? And it got me thinking, what are the type of products that actually companies do come up with, or new types of products that are out there? Because a lot of times everyone thinks, oh, this new product, it's something no one has seen before, which in reality is not necessarily the case. So we're going to kind of go through here just kind of the new product categories that are out there that you can use and kind of think of what are some new products we could make for our firm, or we could make for our business, or whatever. And the thing is, when people think of new products, a lot of times they think of what we call new to the world products, something that's never been there before. No, our product is going to be something completely different, okay? Well, here's the thing. Most of the time, those new to the world products that you think are new to the world aren't actually new to the world. They've already been invented. They're already out there. The iPhone, it wasn't the first smartphone, okay? There was other cars out there. The Model T Ford was not the first car out there, okay? And so what I want you to think about is realize that yes, there are new to the world products. The very first app that was out there, the very first, computer and things like that, those did happen. But most of the time when we're coming up with new products, what we're really doing is we're coming up with new to the firm products. These things that our company has never made before. So like when Microsoft came out with the Xbox, that was a new to the firm product. Or when Apple came out with their iPhone the first time, that was a new to the product, new to the company product, okay? So it's a little bit different. So you want to kind of think about that. Now, another thing you might see is sometimes a new product line or a new product they come out with is just kind of an addition to an existing product line. So Kellogg's has thousands, well, not thousands, but it feels like there's thousands of different cereals they actually put out there. And so kind of an addition to that existing product line might be they come up with, Cocoa Krispies with marshmallows in it. Or maybe they come out with, there's one I saw recently, which was a Peeps, like this Easter candy themed cereal. So it is a new product, but it's a new product in terms of an existing line they already have. And that's where a lot of companies really come. So you think about Nintendo, the Switch, the Wii U, the Wii, those are just new additions to the product lines they already have of gaming units, right? So you have that. Now, another similar thing you might see is what we call an improvement of an existing product. So this might be, maybe it's more efficient, or maybe you have, for example, now with extra vitamin D, you have some food that might have some kind of extra thing in it. Maybe now with extra caffeine or a Red Bull Plus or something like that, you can have those kind of new products, all right? Now, the thing is, though, a lot of times for companies, when they do come up with new products, sometimes the reason why they do the new products is to help them reposition themselves into a new market or reposition their brand. So Head and Shoulders. Now, when you think of Head and Shoulders, you think, oh, I see Head and Shoulders in the shower. They must have dandruff, right? Well, I know the first time that I went into my shower and I saw there was Head and Shoulder body wash, I'm like, wait a minute. Do I have body dandruff? I don't know what's going on. No, you don't have body dandruff. The thing is Head and Shoulders came out with a body wash to help reposition themselves. So they're not just the dandruff shampoo, they're kind of like the body cleaning kind of stuff. And so they use that kind of reposition their products. Now, another kind of new product category you might see is companies might come out with a cost reduction kind of product. So for example, Mercedes, we think of those fancy S-Class and E-Class cars, right? Like, oh my gosh, those are so cool. The thing is though, they came out with a cost reduced model, the A-Class or the M-Class or the G-Class. These are cheaper versions of their current products, a cost reduction version to give them a whole new market, okay? So that can be another thing. Other things you might look at, maybe you like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, you'll see they have those big movies, but also they have cartoons, they also have TV shows. Well, those are actually cost reduction new products because I can't afford $250 million investments into a bunch of movies, but I can afford maybe $10 million to develop a cartoon series on Spider-Man or a cartoon series on Guardians of the Galaxy or something like that. So you have those different things. And the thing is, there's a lot of different kind of product categories out there for new products, but I just want to kind of give you those. So when you're thinking of developing new products for your company or your product lines and stuff like that, you have an idea where they fit. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you want to learn more, do subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell so you get all of our new marketing videos and YouTube advice videos out there on our Professor Walters channel. And we do wish you a great day marketing or trying new products or developing your own. And if you are a student learning, hey, give us a like to let us know that we helped another student study for an exam.
So based on that video, he would have mentioned that when you get to product development, it doesn't have to be a new product. An example is the cacao beans. So, or maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong, but those beans are what can be used. You can turn those beans into different products such as chocolate, fluid paste, cocoa powder. And so basically, it's not something that's new to the market, but you can take whatever product item it is and make something else from it. Okay. And so the next thing we're going to look at is prototyping. So why is prototyping important? It's important because we need to understand, communicate, test, and improve and advocate for a product. So prototyping allows us to streamline a product or a design. So if I say I'm doing lettuce, I may decide that instead of me doing romaine, I may want to do spring. So that's what prototyping is. So we have a quick video on prototyping.
A prototype is an early example of a product that can be used to visualize, test, and iterate part of an idea or concept. This means that it may only demonstrate a single piece of the idea, such as mechanical, electrical, or physical properties. This is done so that you can test each piece cheaply to make sure it works and that people will want the product. By making the prototype of a smaller part, it can be tested easily and any changes can be made without rebuilding the entire product. The materials used for a prototype are often cheaper and easier to work with so that changes can be made easily. As the prototype is iterated, the materials used start to resemble the final product more. This also allows for the prototype to be changed and improved quickly based on feedback and testing. This process is called iteration. The first prototype is usually a rough sketch to make sure that the idea is clear for everyone working on the different parts of the design. It should include a clear breakdown of each of the things to be tested using annotations. The testing of a prototype requires careful feedback. The testing needs to reflect the prototype's function. If the prototype is testing an electrical feature, then feedback on its mechanical strength isn't useful. Through constant iteration, a series of prototypes can come together to form a polished final product.
So I'm just trying to pull it back up on the screen. I'm not sure what, okay, it's back up. So what I was saying is your prototype is very important because once I say is you want to have that idea before developing it. You want to gain clarity. You want to save costs on a product because if it's not, you want to make sure before you put this product in the market that it's gonna work. So now we're gonna look at digital marketing. So digital marketing is very important. I think it's one of the most important components of marketing. It's also the most heavily used form of marketing. So digital marketing, also called online marketing, is the promotion of brands to connect with potential customers using the internet and other forms of digital communication. So this includes not only email, social media, and web-based advertising, but also text and multimedia messages as a marketing channel. So, before social media and digital marketing became a thing, we all used to get flyers in our mailbox. We all used to see a lot of paper print on advertising, but now that has become basically obsolete and everything we do is done digitally. So what would you guys say? I want to hear from you in the comments. Is Facebook or Instagram or email or MailChimp, which one do you feel is used the most for marketing? Let me see your responses in the comments. So is Facebook being used more than Instagram? Is Instagram being used more than MailChimp? What do you think people are using more for digital marketing? So I see Elio, Karen, Elma, Fish, Marsha, everybody is saying Facebook, Facebook, Facebook. Do you guys believe that digital marketing has become cheaper than print marketing? Mommy! All right, I see more Facebook. I see someone saying television. Television is a great source of digital marketing. However, I personally do not feel as if it's being more heavily used compared to Facebook and Instagram, because when you think about it and you're looking at your products, the first thing that the average human being does when they wake up, they go and they check their Facebook and Instagram. And so when it comes to marketing, you want to use the tool where you're going to get the greatest reach and where everybody is. So if everybody is using Instagram, that's how you want to be marketing. And that's only based on your niche market, because if your products are going for millennials, you know that millennials spend probably 80% of their day scrolling on Instagram and Facebook. That's how you want to make sure that Instagram is heavy in your marketing strategy. Now, as it relates to someone of a more older age, that may not work because that person may not be tech savvy. So the social media channels may not work, and then television or print or email would probably be the better marketing strategy there. All right. So I like Yari's comment. This all depends on the demographic, and that is very true. So depending on your target niche market, that is how you're going to outline your marketing strategy and see which digital marketing concept is more appropriate to use. And I agree with Shalwa, radio for older folks. Yes. Egbert, digital marketing is cheaper. To an extent, I do agree that digital marketing has become much cheaper to use compared to print. It's also a very fast way to get information or communication across to many people in a short space of time. So yes, text blast is used quite commonly. However, text blast It's also relatively very expensive based on that you're paying a fee per each number. Karen, word of mouth is best. Create a great product and service, and they will find you. Okay.
Buddy.
So now our final topic would be packaging. So packaging is what's going to put the icing on your cake for your product. One thing I know is people are visual. So when you go into a store, depending on what the product is, you're more likely to pick up something that is highly attractive, that's unique, and also that's different. So a packaging prototype is an example or mock-up of what is your packaging, what it would look like before it goes into mass production. And so depending on what it is that you're doing, um, depending on what it is that you're doing, you want to make sure. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Yeah, oh, sorry. Where am I? So a packaging prototype, let me start this again, is an example or mock-up of what your packaging will look like before it goes into mass production. So it is often handmade or assisted by light or specialized machinery, and a packaging prototype is not a proof or a sample of your packaging. So choosing the right packaging can, and I would like to say will, boost sales. So what I have here next is a packaging prototype. And this is an example of honey, which is very different and very unique. So here you see little B has these little honey packets, which are easy to use, and they're individual. So here you see in the next picture, they're using it on pancakes. Now you see it in a bigger jar and a smaller jar. So I'm going through the comments. How many of you feel as if how your final product looks will play a big role in sales? I see Karen says nice. So this is how this company is thinking outside of the box. So they are selling, their product is basically just regular honey, but what they did is they took their packaging to the next level. So it looks more like a luxury honey brand. So Shawala, I actually thought about this idea this week when I looked up at the ketchup. Okay. Yes. So what this means is when you're coming up with your packaging design, it can be really outside of the box. It doesn't have to be what you're used to, because a big thing with your packaging is also it's going to market your brand. When people see that this is so unique, that's what's going to stand out, and they're going to want to purchase your product. So Gary's saying it's nice but not environmental friendly. But what if it is environmental friendly, Gary? What if the plastic is biodegradable? What if the packages are biodegradable? Another thing you have to take into consideration is the cost of packaging. Even though it's going to be a huge push for the marketing part of it, the cost is going to play a big role. So there's a lot of research that's involved when it comes to prototyping your packaging. I see Gary is laughing at me. Polly is saying yes. Jolie is yes. So now all of you get to, when you leave tonight, you have all week to think of how you are going to, one, put together your marketing strategy, how you're going to use the marketing mix and the 7P formula, how you're going to revisit your product development, packaging, and prototype. And just to explain prototyping a bit more, let's say if you had guavas, and out of guavas, your product was you wanted to take guavas and turn guavas into a guava cake. A prototype for a prototype within a prototype would be taking that guava cake and now producing a new product, which would be guava cake stuffed with cream cheese. So that's something you guys get to do more research on. Now you're going to look at what your digital marketing is going to be like. What type of digital marketing will you utilize, and is it appropriate to your niche market? Your age demographics, your genders. And lastly, your prototyping for your packaging. When you do your final product from start to finish, what's going to be the end result? And from using all of these things, how will it all play a part in marketing? All right, so it's almost 9 o'clock. Do we have any questions? Once again, please be reminded that all of the videos and also supplement readings are in the Google Classroom. And also a lot of these videos will be placed in the Telegram chat. All right, so where the attendance link has been posted, just a reminder to please fill in your attendance. If you're having any challenges filling it in, you can make a comment in the chat or also in the Telegram group. All right. And if you have, like I said, any further questions, feel free to reach out to any of us in the group, or you can reach out to me directly. I see Ronald is saying the cardinal sin of marketing is to be boring. We really need to think outside the box to stand out. And that is true. In marketing, you have to be able to think outside the box and stand out, because that's what's going to set you apart with your product. All right, any more questions? So the last thing I'd ask is, was there anything that anyone did not understand from tonight's presentation or session? You can also feel free to post in the chat so that I can bring any clarity to your questions. Okay, so I see loud and clear. Good. That means you understood. I love that. There's a lot of great content I want to remind you all to utilize from the Google Classroom platform. A lot of the materials you're able to download and go back, because it's going to help you in all of the phases for the Incubator program. Okay. Okay, so if there are no more questions and you have filled out your attendance link, we look forward to having you at the next session. Silverio is here.
Hello, good evening, Precious. Thank you for such a wonderful session. It has been a great learning experience. I really like the videos. I think they really portray the message in a very concise manner, no? And I'm sure that our audience has also received the information very clearly. And I'm happy to see the responses that we are getting. Everyone seems to be right on track. So I just want to leave everyone with a message saying that um, if you go to the Google Classroom, you are now going to be able to find the Module C canvas in a Word document. I know that some of you have been asking in the past weeks about access to the Model C canvas in a Word format, and now that is accessible. So you can go to Unit 0 of the Google Classroom, and you can download this tool and you can fill it out. So we hope that this will allow all of you to be able to complete the Module C canvas. Now, we are right in the middle of the training program. And so we would want to invite all of you to submit a draft of the Model C canvas. You can email us at our email, which is agri.incubator@agriculture.gov.bz, and you can submit your your draft canvas. We would want to be able to help you, to guide you. And so for those of you who feel that you need a bit more support, please let us know and submit your canvas. We're not grading the submission. We are not doing the selection with this first submission. We just want to help you, to guide you, and to let you know if you are in the right track. So please go ahead and you can submit your draft canvas at agri.incubator@agriculture.gov.bc. Um, we are also asking you to subscribe to this channel, this YouTube channel. You can click on subscribe and you will be able to get the notifications of every time that we go live. We also invite you to subscribe to our Telegram channel, and there you will be able to receive all the different content that we share throughout the different days. I know that Precious has indicated that there are some videos that we were going to share with you. And so we want you to subscribe to the Telegram channel, as this is where we will be sharing these videos. You will also be able to find all the content of the presentations and of this training program in our Google Classroom. And so we invite you to also register to the Google Classroom and review the documents, review the content that has been shared. And if you have any questions, you can leave your comments also in the classroom. So with that, I think we can say that we've had such a wonderful 2 sessions with Precious. It has been a great privilege to have you all the way from the Bahamas, Precious. Um, it's so good to have this kind of collaboration. And we have to say that technology has been able to facilitate this kind of program, to be the success that it is being. So, any final words from your side, Precious?
I just want to remind everyone that we are all here to help you be successful in this incubator program. So do not hesitate in reaching out with any questions that you may have. And if there's something that you do not understand, please feel free to say or ask, because we want you to understand. There's a lot of content that we're trying to condense in 1 hour. And that's why it's very important for you to refer back to the Google Classroom, where there's supplement readings, where There are worksheets that you can download to help you in all of the phases, and where there are videos that you can go back to and refer to that will help you to be successful in all of this. And so thank you once again, Silverio. And it's a pleasure being all the way from the Bahamas. You guys are like family. So, and good night, everyone.
Thank you, Precious. And reminding everyone, our next session is scheduled for this Thursday, the 13th of January, and we will start once again at 7 p.m. sharp. You can check out our schedule. It's also posted on the Google Classroom, and you're going to be able to see all the different dates that we are going to be broadcasting over the YouTube channel. Remember, Tuesdays and Thursdays are the new dates for our sessions. So with that, I say good night and all the best.